Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, LinkedIn. Trisha and I are back in our continuing series on the new journey automation tool inside of HubSpot. If you missed the past 2 weeks, Trisha and I have just truly been clicking around in the new journeys tool inside of HubSpot, trying to figure it out. It had a lot of hype around it at Spotlight. You may have heard about it before Spotlight, even. But Trisha and I going in didn't really know exactly what it was. And in the past few weeks, one thing we've identified is it seems to the primary focus of it seems to be like nurturing leads. Is that fair to say? One
Yeah,
of
it
the
doesn't seem
primary.
like it's a replacement for all your workflows. It
Mhm.
feels like it has a role specifically in nurturing.
So today we basically want to focus a little bit on that. We're going to talk through how we're currently using workflows in email nurtures, and then we'll take a look at the journey automation tool and see how we would rebuild, or maybe not rebuild, because I I think journey automation is supposed to be an upgrade. So how we would upgrade our nurtures into um, the journeys, if we would. Also, like, is it ready to do that yet? Maybe not yet. We'll we'll see
Sure.
we'll
I feel
see.
like we have a better plan this week though. As you said, we're just kind of poking around the last couple of weeks, and I think I had aspirationally a really big vision for what this was going to do, and it's I think we found a place where it plays well, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But before we go there,
Oh no.
um,
You have that look on your face like you're going to ask me something that you didn't tell me you were going to ask me.
no, no, I just wanted to say I really like how your nails match your sweatshirt, and was that planned?
Oh, I mean, they don't like,
They're not
but they like
100%,
go
but they're really
together.
close. I like it.
No, it wasn't planned.
Does Jay Schwelson know that you got a manicure to match his?
I'm quite sure Jay doesn't know. I'm quite sure. Jay, if you're watching, I am wearing your sweatshirt today. Any other sweatshirts you want to send me, I will wear, apparently. I
Jay Schwelson's newsletter. It's a good time. Oh my God, so many emojis.
There's so many emojis. Trisha got me subscribed to it. I've gotten a t-shirt. Trisha's got nothing. So
Jay. Jay. Anyway, it is a good time if you're interested. He's an email guy. He just thousands of emails, probably hundreds of thousands of email tests. It's good. It's a good time.
Mhm. Very good. So something about email and automation. Um, insert your own transition there. That was really smooth, but so first, just want to talk through how in HubSpot we're currently using workflows for nurturing contacts. I know for me, I don't love keeping contacts in an email nurture workflow for a long period of time.
Same.
30 days is about the max I want anyone in. And even, to be honest, a lot of times I look at less than that.
Yeah.
They downloaded a piece of content. We send them something. We send them that content. Maybe, just maybe, we send them one other email about that piece of content and, how it applies to our business. But outside of that, I try to get them out of there as quick as I can. But I know
And
that's
why
not
is that,
everybody.
Casey?
I find that email programs that are set up through workflow automation get set and forget. So suddenly you're sending them old content, irrelevant stuff.
From people that
First,
don't even work there anymore.
people that don't even work there. Yeah. Versus if you just include them in your weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever your email cadence is, you're able to send them like more time sensitive stuff, more timely stuff, and kind of reach the audience a little bit better that way. In a perfect world, I think we would have multiple email lists, people who are closer to sales ready and people who are farther from sales ready. In my experiences, that's fairly uncommon. Best case scenario, we have 2 emails, customers and non-customers. And even sometimes we don't have that. You may work at a larger organization that's able to support a larger email program. That's great. That's ideal. But in most organizations I've been in, you do the best with what you can.
Yeah. That kind of segmentation is aspirational. Like even just, tailoring a message to here's what a salesperson wants to hear versus somebody in finance versus maybe somebody in IT. Yes,
With
that
that,
is awesome. But a lot of times finding the resources to tailor those messages to those segments and develop that content that's specific to segments is aspirational with a small team.
yeah. But with that being said, I'll just do a little shout out to like, do you need to send everyone everything? Maybe you have one monthly like general email, and then you have 3 personas, and each persona gets one additional email that month.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a more realistic way of personalizing your content, giving your audience kind of what's relevant to them. But at the end of the day, if you have a CFO white paper, a lot of teams want to send that to everyone because they put a lot of time and effort into it. And I get that, but is that relevant to everyone? No. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes them less likely to open all your emails because suddenly your emails aren't as relevant to them. I open a lot of Jay's emails because they're relevant to me. I write emails. He talks about reality TV. I like reality TV.
That's where he gets me. That's where he gets me. So dumb.
So,
Love him.
So, although I don't love a workflow and a long workflow, and to be honest, I think that's why I don't know if I'm gonna love the journey automation.
I don't know either, but you and I both see some value in like an initial nurture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, like the other thing is that you and me and everybody else, we're getting better over time. I'm smarter than I was 3 years ago. I'm doing better work than I was 3 years ago. And I trust that all of you are as well. And so do you want to enroll somebody in like a nurture program that's going to give them an email that you wrote 3 years ago? Because isn't what you're doing today better? And that's why I always prefer, as much as possible, putting them in the experience that reflects your talent and skill today. But you did develop that intro series that I think did good work, that had great engagement numbers, that set the set the tone, the stage of what this relationship was going to be in a really positive way. And I liked the numbers.
So I developed a series with Trisha, an email series where basically when people entered our prospecting email list, we're sending weekly emails to this audience. When people first land on that list, we send them an email that says, basically, welcome to the list. This is who we are. This is what we offer. And actually, it starts more with like, hey, you're on our list. Here's what you're going to expect. Visit our blog. That's where most of the content we're sending you comes from. And then PS, if you want to request a demo, here you go. But I will say the demo is the PS there, and I do think that's kind of important, especially when you're looking at like resource downloads, more top of funnel submissions. However, the second part of that series is I actually have a second workflow that pulls people out of our weekly list once they engage with it. So welcome email. Welcome. Thank you. If you want to request a demo, here you go. Then we send them every week, like a blog or whatever. Then if they click on that blog or whatever we sent them that week, we send them another email like 2 or 3 days later that says, hey, here's our demo. The vision there being they've gotten value from us. They've seen value in our content. They were interested in something we sent them. So now maybe they're ready to take that next step. And that blog or that follow-up email also performs really well. I say all of this because I actually think that's what Journey Automation is trying to do.
Well, why don't we take that example and see what it would be like to build it in Journey Automation?
Let's do it. You know what?
What is it like? Is it better? Is it faster? Is it smarter? Is it the Bionic Woman? Do you even know what that is?
Yeah.
Now that's a remake nobody did.
It's so weird.
No, everything else has been done. They left the $6 million man and the Bionic Woman completely alone. No, not bringing that back.
All right, I'm going to start this from scratch, which is probably foolish of me. I probably don't know enough about this to start this from scratch, but I am who I am. I believe in my HubSpot abilities.
Okay, for what it's worth, I invited HubSpot to build a list for me yesterday. I keep on throwing in a bone. It was an easy one too, and it just
like the AI list builder. You were like, hey,
here it is.
And it was like, absolutely not. I won't.
It actually did do one thing smarter than I thought it would do. So it was a complete loss.
All right. So how would people enrollment? That's where I need to start. This is why I should have guided myself. So in this case,
probably, well, you have a list. I'm sure you got a list.
Prospects mailable. That feels good.
Okay.
And their journey stage is equal to, oh, you'll choose the value during stage setup. Okay, so we'll stick with journey stage. Maybe next week we dig into that more. I'm still confused, but whatever. Let's.
Yeah.
All right. So our stage 1 is our new email list. All right, and so their stage is going to be new contact. Then in theory, we're going to add an asset. We're going to send an email. I don't have a welcome one in this one.
Just pretend it's a welcome one.
Everyone pretend that this is a welcome email. I'm not going to write a welcome email just for this. That would be crazy. All right.
And take too long.
Save.
New contact, send email. And then wait until activity is this is essentially that waiting for them to click on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Click on anything? Kind of like
I do have it set up like that. I do think so.
You're
Here's
you're in so in your other scenario, people they do something, they get enrolled into the nurture, they get a welcome email, and then it just hangs out until they do a thing. So this is the do a thing stuff, right?
Mhm. But right now I'm gonna say, like, they clicked an email. I don't really wanna do that. I think I wanna do they visit the website, because that's just as good, if not better, than a email click.
Mhm.
Page name no, not page name. Case name. Alright. So they visit our website. You would put your domain there. I'm putting just my name. Save. And then it's gonna wait a period of time. Do I
I
need
would
to
only
wait?
I mean, if they just visit the website, I would make that an hour, 30 minutes, 5 minutes.
No, it's gonna say how long to wait if those conditions aren't met.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh. Well,
I would
aren't
say
you
maybe
able to
30
set
days.
this aren't you able to set this without a waiting period? Wasn't there a way to have an action that didn't have a waiting period assigned?
No,
Oh, but you're waiting until activity, and then you're waiting for how long? Okay.
maybe 30 days. Yeah. I can just wait. I don't have to wait for an activity, but I can't wait for an activity without a way out.
All right. Okay.
Alright, so they don't do that, then whoops, nope. Okay, so if they've so we send them the welcome email. If within sure, 30 days they do something, then they're
Then you
engaged.
change them to like, okay, engaged.
And if they don't do anything,
They just stay low
then they're
or
unengaged.
unengaged. Yeah.
But well, not the problem. I kind of want, so these are new contacts. I want this to be engaged contacts. Because the next thing I want to do,
So in this one, you could give them a thing to do, and if they do it, great. But if they don't do it within the period, then maybe they go back into unengaged or low engaged or something like that.
mhm. So the problem I have with where I don't think this is working the way I want it to. Well, one, engaged isn't right. This is like qualified at the end.
Yeah.
Because here, this I want them to be engaged. Great. Then, so they visited the website after getting my first welcome email. Then they're engaged. I might send them a demo email. Then, if they form submission, is really what I want. Form name is contact us. And maybe I'll wait 30 more days for that. If they did, they're qualified. If they didn't,
Can you send them back to
I probably want to send them another email. Like maybe I send them a demo, then I send them a case study.
mm, but We're already 30 days out here.
Mhm. So you probably wanna short if I'm sending another email here, I'm probably shorting this to, like, 7 days.
Mhm.
Then I send them a case study. Um, can I copy things yet? No, I can't. Okay. It's fine. I love this. I love not being able to copy, actually.
I don't believe you.
It's a beta. It's a beta.
It's fine. It's fine.
7. So if they submit it, whoop, no, stay here. That's a successful end. All right.
What are your go-to options?
Like mine?
No, in here.
Oh,
Uh,
go-to options.
go-to
Successful end or
successful or
unsuccessful
unsuccessful.
end, which you can really only do at the bottom.
Is there any way to put them back, uh, to send them back
Step
into
1.
the journey? Like, the journey's a loop, right? Where, like, they enter, and then they're just kind of, like, cycling through stuff until they leave successfully. Like, you don't want to have them leave the journey. You wanna keep them in the journey doing stuff until they have a successful exit. Maybe, maybe not. But is there a way to,
Well,
let's
I don't
say,
wanna send them back to the start.
no, because then they'll get the same email all over again.
Mhm.
But we also don't want to create a journey that is 4 months long.
Mhm. I think that's why I'm like that's why I don't think I'm gonna love this.
Yeah, okay. The thing that I Here's where I think maybe this has some value,
Tell me.
um, is that it feels like it's action triggered. So, like, they do something and then you do something, whereas a normal email nurture workflow is just like, do this, and then 3 days later, send them this, and then 4 days later, send them this. This is more action-based, and you're reacting to what they're doing.
Yes, that's true. I guess
So maybe it's that sort of like you go into this thinking, well, if they just visit the website, I want to do this. If they engage with this part of the website, potentially, then I want to do this. If they go to the forum page, but they don't complete it, then I want to do this. Maybe have your ideas of like, if then, here's how I want to respond to different inputs ahead of time.
Mhm. I think the part I'm struggling with is, like, in theory, people are in this until they're qualified or until I don't know, until 90 days have passed and you're like, "Okay, I've tried." Um, whereas kind of how I set up workflows right now, in the example you gave, we welcome them, then they're just, like, basically sitting on a list, w and we're waiting for an action, and then we enroll them once they take action.
I mean, you could
So
do the same thing here where they visit the website, you send them the first email
Mhm,
inviting them to get a demo. And
mhm.
if they don't do that within 2 days, like if you've got incentives or something, that's the point where you're like, here's an incentive to go do that thing.
I think I think this is a better system for something like our Engaged. So our welcome email, I don't see a whole well, if you're sending a single email, I don't know if this is better, is how I'll put it. However, if I send them the welcome email wait to see if they visit the website. Maybe I even like I said, the email has like a PS, did you here's where to get our demo. So maybe instead our wait to activity is like, mm, well, I almost want to like do two things. Like I want two, I want an if then branch is what I want. Uh, if I'm being honest. I want to wait until they visit the website. Then I want to see if they visited the website, if they filled out a form or not while during their visit. If they did
Mhm.
visit and fill out the form, great. They're going to sales, amazing. If they visited the webs, well, okay, I'm talking myself into this. All right. I think 30 days is too long.
Mhm.
We wait 7 days. We send them the email. Honestly, we wait 3 days. If you haven't clicked the email in 3 days, then maybe you're unengaged. Or maybe unengaged feels harsh, but whatever. Low intent. And then you just are on our email list. However, if you do click that first, if you do visit the website after that first email, I'm just not sure what the value in put it. Like I think I want two.
To what?
I think I want two of these. Like I want one for my email list to send people
Mhm.
when they first did, but then I want the enrollment for my what I'm calling engaged now, but for that follow-up, I want the enrollment for that to be people who click like it would be a list of people who clicked one of our recent emails.
Mm. Any of the Can you do that in here?
It's just
Uh,
lists.
so for step so for the do a thing,
Mhm,
they got the first email,
mhm.
and now you're waiting for them to do a thing. Are you able to make that do a thing step be on a list, which looks at anybody who's clicked an email? Or anyway, are you able to make that do a thing step be anybody who's interacted with an email?
I mean,
Okay,
I
so
could
that
say they clicked an email.
so that feels like an advantage over workflows because don't you have to like specify which email they interacted with in a traditional workflow?
Let's go over there. Also, let's take a look. Bill asked any, um, if we can use the new journey stage property in a traditional workflow. So we can also look at that. So let's do actually when value changes, contacts.
So the light bulb moment for me with this, I haven't quite figured out what to do with it yet, but is that where workflows are primarily email nurture workflows are primarily you're waiting for somebody to do something, and in the interim, you're like, here's this, here's this, here's this. This feels more like uh, everything that you do is event based. So they do this, you do this. They do this, you do this, as opposed to like, here's 5 things I'm doing to try to get you to do something.
Mhm.
And so it feels a little bit more dynamic in that way, in that you're not, and also a little bit more passive too. Like you're waiting for them to kind of take the first step. and
Mhm.
then you meet them.
I guess, like, we have these delay until event occurs, which I guess, like, in workflows, and there's more properties here.
Mhm.
I mean, there's clicked link in email. I think I can just save that. Yeah, I can just see clicked link in an email. Bill, it
Oh,
does look like you can use the, property stage in here. So, like, if I was to build that same if I was to build that same workflow, so I send them the email, um, new contact, I send them the email, I could say if they clicked a link in an email, I can edit the record.
and make their journey stage X or Y or Z,
Mhm. Yeah.
which is feeling more straightforward than journey automation right now, right?
Right now, for me, it is, at least, because and one thing I'm liking about personally liking about building it as a workflow is I have more control over this enrollment piece. Like,
Mhm.
I don't have to have people sit in a journey for a month or whatever and see if they hit the engaged mark. Instead, with a workflow, I can set them to unengaged if they didn't do anything after 3 days, and then I can make a second workflow that the trigger is like their journey stage was unengaged, but they clicked an email, and now we wanna send them something else.
Mhm.
I'm sure I'm wrong. I'm sure I'm gonna, like,
I
eat my
feel like
words.
yeah, I feel like no, but I'm with you right now. It still make I like the journey stages, and but they make more sense to me using traditional workflows at this point.
And maybe that's because I'm used to workflows. I'm open to that being the reason, and if
Mhm.
someone nothing I would love more than for someone to comment here or DM me and say, "I'm using Journey Automation and loving it because of this," and show me how, and show me why that's better than building it in a workflow right now.
Mhm.
But I will say right now, I'm not seeing why I would build I'm not seeing why I would build Journey Automation instead of a workflow.
Not yet.
It seems more limiting at this point than a workflow without any, like, bonuses. I know there's some reporting and we just basically haven't gotten far enough to
That's true. We never got to reporting. We still haven't gotten to reporting.
Mhm. So, like, in theory, maybe the reporting is the piece I'm missing? Um, I don't know. That's where
It's
I'm
not
at.
always love at first sight, Casey.
It's not
Sometimes it's a learned appreciation, and that's where we are right now.
if Love Is Blind has taught me anything, it's not always love at first sight. Had to we had to go back to the reality TV somehow.
Yeah, you brought it full circle.
Alright. I don't know if we're gonna cover journey automation next week, Trisha.
No, no.
I I'm ready to move on,
I'm ready to move on,
personally. I'm open to coming back.
especially if somebody reveals the way to you this week.
So DM me if you would like to, but otherwise, Trisha and I will bring you something else next week because um, I'm not ready to move my workflows to Journey Automation.
No?
That's all. If you have any questions, DM us, leave a comment here, and we'll be bringing you something else next week. Yeah, and Bill, the journey stages inform the automation reports, which is better for reporting. I I suspect that the reporting is the piece that is makes this more powerful than workflows. Um, However, I will say at this point for me as a person, um, I, I'm I'm not sold enough on building it basically to even get to a point where I can get to the reports.
Mhm.
because it seems like I'm just sticking people in journeys potentially long term, which, as we talked about at the top of this, is not my ideal scenario.
Yeah.
So,
I do kind of like the idea of, well, we'll see. Maybe incorporating those journey stages into workflows, though.
yeah. And I think that could be a first step. And I also think that might help if you start doing that now, when journey automation does kind of get to a point where I am happy to move my workflows there, I already have journey stages set, which is going to make that better, I suspect. So, all right. We are putting journey automation back on the bookshelf for the time being. Maybe we'll pick it up again in a couple weeks, but until then.
Until then,
Any final thoughts, Trisha?
no. Put a bow in that.
I feel like we're leaning into it for a moment there, and then
I'm a Gemini. We're easily like.
All right. Have a good rest of your week, everyone, and we'll be back next week for something. TBD. I need George's soundboard.